Hey guys, Marc Spector Comics, and I'm back. Wanted to do a recap from 2019 Rhode Island Comic Con. Before we get started, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting close to the 250 subscriber mark, and like I said, I'm doing a current giveaway. And if I get to 250 by the end of, November 27th, which is the deadline, I'm going to be giving away a graded book along with the books I'm throwing in for the contest. So last time I checked, I'm at 227. So make sure you get that content out there, share it, and add some new members to the community. So going back to the Rhode Island Comic Con, so I went there on Sunday. It was the only day I went, and it was my second year. It was back-to-back years that I went there. So I went there because there was some artists and writers that I was interested in getting some books signed, drop off some books to CGC to get it graded. So I figured, let's go there and get some of that done. So what I found interesting is that when I went this year, they had expanded the areas of where the convention went. So last year it was just, from what I remember, it was at the convention center. They had some exhibits at the hotel next door at the Omni, and that was pretty much it. And there were several floors. So this year I noticed that they added the Dunkin' Donuts Center. Basically all around the vendors where you would have events, they had comic vendors, they had toy vendors, random accessories, and etc. So it was pretty cool. And around the Dunkin' Donuts Center, I actually saw two of my local comic shops there. So I said, I passed by, said hi, and checked out what they had for sales and whatnot. Didn't end up picking up anything from there, but just went there and stopped by. So Rhode Island Comic Con, if you haven't been there, I consider it like a medium-sized Comic Con. There was about well over 1,000 people there when I went. So they focus on a little bit of everything. So they have celebrities there, so you can get signed photos, whatever, with etc. celebrities there. And they have the artist alley. They have cosplayers, tons of vendors, anything from comics to toys to accessories, and so forth. And they actually have tattoo shops there. So they have guest tattoo artists from all over the country that show up, and you can get a tattoo right on spot. So that's pretty cool as well. It's the only convention that I know of that I've been to that has tattoo artists. And then obviously next door they have the panels. So I didn't do any of that this year. I didn't have time for it. So before I get into what I dropped off and what I got signed and so forth, I'm just going to add a quick video of the stuff I saw at the convention. I didn't get too much time to do footage, but let's check it out. Hey guys, Marc Spector Comics. I'm here at Rhode Island Comic Con, walking around, looking at the booths, checking out the artists. I already met Joe Rubinstein, took a picture with him, got a couple of my books signed. Now I'm on the hunt looking for Neil Adams and Mike Zeck. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm back. Also got some Walking Dead stars here, Stephen Yeun. Alright, so we're back. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Like I said, my intention was to get a lot more footage recorded. I had my camera and whatnot. I just got caught up in the hunt, dropping off books, meeting artists, and so forth. So let's do a little quick recap. So I dropped off, I think it was 10 books to CGC. Quick recap of the books I did for grading. I did my Immortal Hulk #2. I did my Deathstroke the Terminator, #1. I actually got that signed by Mike Zeck. I'll add a picture there for you. And it was initially a PGX book, but I had to get that cracked and reslabbed by CGC. So I had that sent off. I had my Neil Adams Detective Comics #402 signed by him. Got that sent off. I previewed that in the last video I posted, so I was real excited to get that signed by him. What else? There was Omega Man #3, the first Lobo. There was Dark Avengers #1. That's a little bit of a spec book. It was I had that sent off as well. Avengers 684, the first, I guess, Immortal Hulk, where we find out that he's immortal. What else? Savage She-Hulk #1. I've been waiting to get that sent off for quite some time, so I'm excited to see what that comes back as. Marvel .1, first Kamala Khan. Thor 337, which is the first Beta Ray Bill. And the last book, I believe, was Wonder Woman '93, which was some, really cool Joker cover, DCU variant, rare book, whatever. So I had that sent off as well with the two ones I got witnessed, the Detective 402 and Deathstroke. So enough of that. Books that I actually have here in person that I got signed. So there was some pretty good artists and writers there. I was disappointed because there was 3 artists, writers that I wanted to get books signed: Jerry Conway, Mark Wolfman, and Denny O'Neil. And they ended up canceling. So I was a little disappointed. If those 3 would have showed up, I think we would have had a really good artist-writer alley panel. But, it is what it is. So the artists I met, the first book that I want to show is Rye. This is the second series, Rye #11. Got this, you see right here, signed by Clayton Crane. If you haven't met Clayton Crane before, he has one of the nicest signatures out there. Super clean. He likes to use nice colors to make the book pop. And one of the nicest guys out there. If you ever get a chance, meet him. He's very humble, very approachable, and he just does amazing art. This series, he actually did all the covers and interior artwork, so it's quite rare to see Clayton Crane do some of this stuff anymore. He just does covers now, so definitely a cool early series to look out for. And if you haven't seen this already, last year when I met him for the first time, I had this Rye #1 signed and sketched by him. It was a 9.8. Did a really cool bloodshot sketch, and you can see right here, he signed it, put his little fingerprint on there, so it was pretty cool. And he did this for free. He didn't even charge for it. Like I said, really cool guy. And if you do commissions by him, he's very affordable. What he'll do is, I don't know what he charges offhand, but you just ask him, he'll tell you, you have this whatever amount of budget, and he'll draw whatever he thinks is worth that. So, really cool guy. Definitely check him out. The other cool artist that was there that I didn't get anything signed this time was by Joe St. Pierre. He also did some early Rye work. I had this signed by him last year and graded. Came back at a 9.6. It's the second year in a row he went there. I believe he comes to the Rhode Island Comic Con often. But when I was doing some back issue bin hunting. I couldn't find any good high grade, like older Rye books that I wanted to get signed by him, so I didn't get a chance to meet him again. But all right, so some of the other stuff. So this is Deathstroke number 32 from the current run. I believe the series is coming to an end pretty soon. But I got this signed by the writer, Christopher Priest. He does nice signature there right at the bottom, and he dates it, 2019. This was, I haven't been reading the story, but I heard it's been pretty good. And the guy is really, really nice guy. I was waiting there for a few minutes. There was this little kid getting a bunch of books signed by him. And I was like, take your time. Really cool guy. We started talking a little bit about the series. And here's another one that's a great cover. These are all done by Bettina. And I was talking to him about these covers. And he was saying that when he writes these stories, I think he has these stories about 4 to 6 weeks done ahead of time. And when the artist actually does these covers, he doesn't actually get to see them until it actually goes out to publishing, to when we get them. So I was talking to him about that, and he was like, well, if I had seen this cover well in advance when I was writing the story, I could have added this into the actual story. So I was like, oh, that would have been pretty sick, because I had no clue that they had finished the stories that far in advance. So, like I said, really nice guy as well. I only bought 3 books with me to get signed by Deathstroke. This was the last one. Another great Bettina cover. Deathstroke number 34. As I said, signed by Christopher Priest. And I'm going to put one of these, one or two of these books, as I said, I got these 3 great covers. These will be added, 2 of them will be added into the giveaway. I'm going to keep one of them just so I can keep one in my collection as well. So, for you DC fans, you'll appreciate those, I'm sure. The next book I got, the next artist I met was actually, one extra in there. This was the last one, Deathstroke number 36. That really cool Villains cover. The lighting's not doing this book some justice right now, but another great cover by Bettina. So, like I said, I'll add 2 of those books into the contest. Excuse me. And then the last one of the artists I met last year, this was at Terrificon, was Joe Rubinstein. If you're not familiar with Joe Rubinstein, if you ever picked up the Infinity Gauntlet series, he did all the pencils and that. He's been penciling for, I want to say, about over 40 years. He started when he was like 17. I started talking to him. Another really good person to meet out there. Really nice guy. But back to the books. Oh yeah, this book you'll probably definitely recognize. So X Factor number 6. There you go. First full appearance of Apocalypse. And as you can see, he also signs it. Rubinstein with the year on there. 2019. So I'm sure you guys are all familiar with this book. The next book I got signed by him, you're probably not too familiar with. When I was going through my PC, I found out that he actually did the pencils for this book, and not too many people are familiar that he actually did the pencil work on this book. And this is Moon Knight. There you go. Number 17. So it's an early Moon Knight from the first series. And he signed this in that silver, so it looks really nice. Pops in this book. This is actually a really, high grade book. I could have got this sent off to CGC, but I had already spent a lot of money sending off those books to get graded. So, you know, maybe one day I can get this sent off to CBCS and just get this verified. Um, I'll add the picture in there as well. Picture I took with Joe Rubinstein. Like I said, he's a really nice guy. So those were the two books I got signed by him. And then, like I said, I also got the chance to meet Neil Adams. And then I had this really cool placemat that I showed in my last video. It's a really hard to find Hardy's Roadrunner advertising placemat from the late 70s. And Neil Adams actually got a really cool kick out of this because he hadn't seen one in probably like 20 years, he was saying. So you can see there's his signature there at the bottom. And then I was starting to get a little nervous towards the end because he put the placemat back in here, and I was like, oh boy, I was getting worried. He almost he came close to ripping it, so got a little nervous. But so I got that signed in, the Detective Comics 402 signed by him, and then basically went back out on the hunt. And I know some people were saying that Rhode Island Comic Con is starting not to get, focused on the artists and getting more into the celebrity signings, the Funko Pops, and like I said, the tattoo artists and all that so forth. And I can see that, I can definitely see that how it's getting there. I'm just going ahead and say that it's more of a well-balanced Comic Con. So it has a little bit of everything. It's a medium-sized convention. Like I said, they had probably about like a little over 1,000 people from what I saw walking around. But the benefit was it wasn't a crowded convention. And that's what made it a great time, because I was able to, go to the artist alley, meet the people I wanted to meet, took my time, picked their brains a little bit about the art, the writing, etc., and get them to sign the books, and then go to the next person. And in previous cons where you would wait, 10, 15, 20 minutes to just meet one person, it really ties you up. And then you have to go to CGC, CBCS, whatever, get the books processed, fill out the paperwork, all that crap. And it takes a lot of time. And that wasn't the case here. And that's why I really like this convention. As for buying books, I was really only out there hunting for one book. It was on my list this year for my my hunt for the 2019 Grails, and it was for a Golden Age Alex Schomburg cover. And I found a few of them there. They actually had a bunch of Golden Age books there, and the problem with that is the condition on the books were really poor, and the prices that they were asking were ridiculous, like over $1,000. And like I said, I don't have any problem spending that type of money, but it has to be the right deal for the right book, and that just wasn't the case. So I didn't end up buying any books, but besides that, I had a blast. So to wrap this up, this was my 2019 Rhode Island Comic Con experience. Went a little longer than I expected, but I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, it's Marc Spector Comics, out.